Hello, let's talk about DevSecOps and more specifically about vulnerability scanning and how you can make use of vulnerability scanning to scan your OS packages as well as your code into your pipeline and your container images. So for that, I'm going to use this application, which is just a demo application. It's actually running on Kubernetes. This is the outside URL. And I need to do some changes because my business people ask me to get a different color for this title. So let's work locally and modify things, and when things is going to be suitable, we are going to launch that in a CI/CD pipeline and deploy it into my Kubernetes cluster. But first, let's work locally. So here I am on my laptop. This is my repo, and let's have a look at my application. So my application is this HTML file, and let's say that instead of red, I want the title to be green. So let's put green instead. Okay. Okay, now let's run Docker build. Let's do a Docker build here. I'm going to build this image locally. Let's run it. Let's run my Docker image. So this is now running, exposed on port 5000. So let's have a look at the look and feel of this application now. Let's go here. Okay, so it's green now, so perfect. Before committing the code into Git, let's double check if my work does not contain any vulnerability. So for that, I have Lacework scanner. So let's run a Lacework scanner. So here I'm going to scan this image. Oops, there is a critical vulnerability here, and if I want to have some details, I can even have a look at this. So you see there is one vulnerability out of this image. Okay, so something is wrong, and it's because of these APK tools, which is not at the right version. There is a fixed version which is available. So for that, I'm going to I need to do some changes, but let's assume that I will push my code without doing any change, and let's see how I'm going to detect that during my CI/CD pipeline. So let's do git add, so that I'm going to no, that's not the right files that I need to add here. I'm just adding, I think, my Docker file as well as my template and it's index.html. Okay, so why this is not good? Again, templates with an S. Sorry about that. Okay, good. So now git commit. Let's say I am just updating my HTML. Okay, and let's do a git push. Okay, bear in mind that I'm pushing my modification, but there is actually something wrong in my Docker file and in my resulting container. So now let's go and see my GitHub repository. So my GitHub repository is here, and I am here using GitHub Actions as a CI/CD. And each time I'm pushing an update, it's going to trigger the pipeline. And so here, let's have a look at this. So you see that I'm updating my HTML, and this is actually running a pipeline, which is made of different steps. So you see all this is currently being processed. So different steps from the Docker build to the Lacework scanner. So let's have a look at what this is actually being done here. So if I look here, this is defined in this file. So here you see that I am building my container here, but yes, very importantly, here I'm using a step which is actually launching the Lacework scanner tied to my Lacework account. And it's actually checking whether I have vulnerabilities within this Docker image. Here I am only checking if I have critical vulnerabilities, and it's going to fail. This step is going to fail if I have critical vulnerabilities. I can modify things differently, but for this example, I decided to block only if I have critical vulnerabilities. But this is the case. I had one APK tool which was critical, so this should fail. Just for your attention, you see that I am able to detect OS vulnerabilities like APK, which is here vulnerable, but I am also able to detect libraries, so language libraries, language packages. So this is what we are doing here. So let's have a look at my workflow. Back to actions. Oh, you see it failed. So let's have a deeper look here. You see it failed at this step, the scanning, the vulnerability scanning, and it failed, let's have a look. Yes, because one critical vulnerability was found. So here, this is this critical vulnerability that we have already identified before on my laptop, but now it's failing at the CI/CD pipeline step. Okay? So it cannot be pushed into my production cluster. So I need to change things. This is what I'm going to do now. So for that, something goes wrong in my Docker file. So I have a fixed version of it. So I'm going to use this fixed version for your information. Let's have a look and see what's basically I changed from Alpine 3.1 to Alpine latest. And it goes with a few dependencies. So I'm now using Python 3. But the most important thing is that I'm now using Alpine latest, which has a fixed version of APK. So now let's do GitHub Docker file. Okay, git commit -m fixing APK. Okay, and git push again. Okay, so now things should be working better. Let's have a look again at my GitHub Actions. So again, GitHub Actions. So you see there is a new pipeline which is running now. Let's have a look into it. Okay. So it's going through all the different steps just like before. Maybe we can just have a look at the rest of the steps that I'm doing. So here I went quite fast, but here I am just building my Docker image. As I said, here I am doing the scanning of this image and blocking if things are, I need to decline. I'm blocking if things are not contain critical vulnerabilities. Now, if things goes correctly, I log into Docker Hub and I'm pushing this image into Docker Hub. This way, doing things like this, I'm sure that my Docker Hub repo will only contain good images without known vulnerabilities. And going further through the pipeline, I can configure my AWS credentials and deploy to my cluster if things are going okay. So let's now double check. Okay, so it's still running. Where am I at the moment? So I'm almost at the end. I'm just verifying my deployment at the moment. So things is going to be done. I have 2 replica of this one single application. So it looks like everything is going smoothly now. Okay, verifying deployment. Is it? No, it takes a little bit of time. Why is it taking so long to do the verification? I just don't know. But we can maybe have a look since it's been deployed to the cluster. Maybe we can have a look to see if things are going okay. So let's just access to the web page again. Oh, you see, it's good. It has been deployed successfully now with this green font instead of the red one. So just to summarize things now, let's have a look at here the Lacework the Lacework GUI. If we go here and if we just update, yeah, no, I should decline. Sorry, I'm just updating things here. Okay, this is what was done. Sorry, I need to maybe to put my camera on the lower. Okay. Okay, so this is the vulnerabilities that were identified and were concentrated here on my Lacework UI, so that I see which one are contains critical vulnerabilities or not. So this one are just the one that are running on my cluster. So you see there is nothing running with critical vulnerabilities. But if I look at all the different images that were scanned, I'm going here to see that I have critical vulnerabilities. Okay, and last but not least, if I go to resource host application here, I'm going to have a look at the polygraph, which is a Lacework graph to show you how things are communicating, the different processes that are communicating with my application. So I see that this is my application, my container application. So, and this is different IP addresses that are accessing my application. Okay, thank you for watching.